Everybody, welcome to Unit 3, where we are going to talk about recruiting and selection processes in sports organizations, and then compensation and benefit strategies. So, recruiting, that has to do with hiring, your process for bringing people into the organization, what kind of methods you're going to use. Are you going to post jobs online? Are you going to use kind of professional networks to find people? Are you going to use search firms if we're talking about head coaching and athletic director type of positions? Are you going to promote people from within? Are you going to look outside the organization? So every organization is unique, and every organization has different kind of cultures and standards that they use to do that. Some organizations are very big at promoting from within, others tend to look more outside. And money plays a role in that as well, which we'll talk about with compensation and benefits. So, one thing with recruiting and selection that has really become dominant is social media. And so, your assignment in this unit is to evaluate an athlete's social media content and decide whether you would bring that person into your organization. So, you're looking at an athlete who either is going to be drafted in 2020, who's currently in minor league baseball, or who will be an incoming student athlete in the fall. And you're going to basically find out what you can about them on social media and assess whether there are any red flags that would prevent you from bringing that person into the organization. Now, clearly, there's many perspectives on this. There's views about whether it's good, whether it's right, whether it's wrong, whether it's ethical, unethical, and there's many arguments that are good on both sides that can be made there. The thing is, right now, it's a big practice that people are doing. So even though there may be ethical concerns with it, most organizations are doing it. I think part of that's just the way of the world and the way things are now. So this will give you an opportunity to kind of work from the HR side of the desk and to engage in something that a lot of HR professionals in sport and other organizations are doing. I would add, and we'll get at this in our last unit, but all of us can expect to have our social media searched. It's not just athletes, right? So, and there's plenty of cases about people who have not been hired because of things that have been on social media. So, I'm really looking forward to what you come up with there in that assignment. And then we're going to talk about compensation, which is very simply how you pay people. As we know, sports organizations have differing resource levels. Texas A&M, they could pay Jimbo Fisher $75 million over 10 years. Not every school can do that. So how much money you pay someone determines the kind of candidates that you can get to your organization. We're going to look at ways you pay people beyond just money. So benefits, incentives, bonuses. So for example, Coach Beard got an incentive for getting Texas Tech to the Final Four. A lot of coaches get bonuses for their APR scores, for winning conference titles, making the playoffs, winning the division. So there's ways to really pad a person's compensation through incentives and bonuses. And then perks and benefits. So we'll look at the different types of benefits. There's some benefits that you have to pay by law, such as Social Security and Medicare. There's others that you can then choose to offer to all employees, such as health insurance and retirement plans. And then there's some benefits that you can choose to offer only to specific employees, like coaches. So for instance, coaches often get vehicles, country club memberships, stadium suites put into their compensation packages, whereas the director of marketing might not, probably doesn't get that. So for the discussion forum, there's a website that has many of the head coaches in Division One college football, their contracts. So you're going to go to that site, you're going to pick a coach, and you're going to analyze their contract, and you're going to look at what kind of compensation they get, what kind of incentives or bonuses do they get, what kind of perks do they get, what are the buyout figures, and then just kind of assess how competitive that contract is. So I'm looking forward to what you come up with there. Just remember that compensation and money talk, and that's pretty much what most people care about in their jobs is money. So the more you pay people, the more you can keep people and the more attractive candidates you can get. And again, not every organization can do that. So that's why we see coaches leave. If we look at intercollegiate athletics, There's a reason Nate Oates didn't stay at Buffalo, because Alabama could pay him more than Buffalo ever could. So if you're a school like Buffalo, or a school outside the Power Five, you kind of just have to accept that you're going to be, coaches are going to use your school as a stepping stone. And while you can try and pay them competitively, you just can't match the resources of other schools. So that influences, who you hire, and that's why most of those schools promote assistant coaches or other people rather than go outside the organization. So again, looking forward to your thoughts here, and we will talk soon.